Hello everyone. And before we get into today's video, continuing on from my last video, which I don't think anyone watched, I have begun my epic 3,500 kilometer journey by bus. Yesterday I was in this city, and right now I am here. I just got off a 19-hour bus journey, absolutely beautiful, through mountains, through deserts. If no one's been to Brew before, I highly recommend it. Mostly this channel is a football channel, but the traveling part of the name of this channel is there for a reason. I am traveling, so I'll keep you updated, even if no one is interested. Anyway, on to today's video then. Now, let's get into the video then, and there's a few pieces of news I want to talk about. But first of all, I want to talk about the piece of news that's worrying me the most, and that is Dani Ceballos. Apparently, according to AS, Real Madrid have placed a 20 million euro price tag on his head, and this worries me for numerous reasons. First of all, 20 million euros is just ridiculous. For a player of his quality and his experience, who's in his prime, and offers really valuable squad depth, I don't really see what we get from, I don't see what we gain from selling him for 20 million. Second of all, it just shows how undervalued he is in the squad. He's the only player in the squad that has the kind of capabilities to replace a Luka Modric and a Toni Kroos in terms of dictating tempo, controlling possession. Obviously, he's not at their level, and I don't believe he's a world-class player. But unless Arda completely develops into the player we hope he can be next season, I think Dani Ceballos is going to have a lot of useful minutes to play next season. And the reports are this summer Real Madrid have been looking to try and get a Ceballos type of player in the transfer market, and we're having troubles. We can't seem to find anyone. We were linked with Stiller from Stuttgart earlier on in the season. That doesn't seem to have developed. So if we can't even find a replacement for him, selling him just seems ridiculous to me. Fortunately, from a Real Madrid perspective, is that the only club he seems to want to go to is Real Betis, and I don't think they've got the funds to be able to. Certainly, they're not going to match his wages, and I don't even think they're going to be able to match the 20 million euro fee. So that might and be a blessing in disguise because it will force him to stay. Because I really think we need him. But anyway, moving on to I suppose, the bigger news in this video. And before I do, I've got another bus to catch now, so I'm going to go get on a 7-hour bus journey to another city, and I will pick up from there. And here I am. Look at this. I'm now in Arica, which is right at the north of Chile, on the border, or the frontera, as they call it here, with Peru. If anyone's got any questions or wants to know about traveling in South America, let me know. But anyway, let's get into today's video then. Vinicius, he's not agreed on a contract extension. Apparently, the talks have stalled. Now, this isn't exactly surprising news. According to AS and Marca, the club have been working on this deal for at least a year now. His current contract expires in 2027. We've only got 2 years left. And of course, the sticking point is about money. According to the reports, Vini wants 5 million euros a season extra. Added on to his current wages, and the club, because of his recent form, and when I say recent, at least 12 months now, hasn't been that great. The club are hesitant, and honestly, I'm not too disappointed with this news. The only real downside from this I can see is next summer, if we do decide to sell him, obviously we're going to be a bit hampered because he's only got 1 year left on his deal. However, I still think Saudi would offer ridiculous money next summer, even with only 1 year left. I can see them offering 300 million or something crazy. Whether Vinny wants to go to Saudi, I'm not sure. If he wants to go to a Premier League team, then maybe we'd have a bit of problem because they would have a lot of leverage over us. But I still think there would be a bidding war for Vinicius, considering the lack of world-class players, attacking players on the market. So that's the only concern I have. But generally, I think it's quite smart because we've not seen the best Vinny. Certainly not the 2022 Vinny we had with playing alongside Benzema, and even the season before last, before Mbappe came in, he was still playing at a very high level. But his last 12 months have been really inconsistent. And the problem with Vinicius is when he's not playing well, he doesn't really offer that much. When Rodyrgo's not playing well, he defends, he tracks back, he runs his arse off. When other players are not playing well, they can contribute in other ways. He does get assists, and I will give him praise for that. He's certainly, in the last few seasons, he's had some beautiful assists. Something that's probably quite. I thought Ronaldo as well, Cristiano, got underrated for that. Ronaldo was seen as this selfish player, which of course he was, but he provided some beautiful assists in his time, and Vinicius as well does do that from time to time. But he also creates a lot of drama on the field, and he's constantly complaining, and he's getting into arguments with the referee, and so he's very up and down, Vinicius, at the moment. So I certainly don't mind from the club's point of view of them thinking, let's see how we do next season. Let's give him another season, because if he does connect with Mbappe and we form this beautiful strike partnership, then he'll be deserving of the money, no doubt about it. But as things stand at the moment, it's a partnership that doesn't look like it's going to be able to work. Now, this piece of information also has some consequences, I think, to Rodyrgo's situation, because if the club aren't sure if Vinicius is going to extend, I am 100% sure in saying they're not going to let him go for free in 2027, which means he'll either sign an extension or he'll be sold next summer. Um, if that happens and we lose Rodyrgo this summer, we sell Vinicius next summer, that's a lot of attacking options gone. And I think now the club surely must be having second thoughts about selling Rodyrgo, because a few weeks ago I made a video saying that I would happily sell Rodyrgo for 100 million because I don't think he's world class. I think he's a very good player, but I don't think he's world class. However, if you offer me these two options, first one, selling Rodyrgo for 100 million and keeping Vinicius, or the second one, selling Vinicius for 200 million and keeping Rodyrgo, I would take the second option. I would prefer to keep Rodyrgo and have 200 million for Vinicius. So I wonder if this is going to make the club rethink this offer now, because I'm still not convinced that Rodyrgo is going to be sold yet. Now, this is, of course, partly Real Madrid's fault. They put themselves in this position by giving out really ridiculous contracts sometimes to players. I mean, someone like Alaba, who is one of the highest paid players in the club, is on a very high wage, and he's not even available. He's not really been available for 2 years. So, of course, someone like Vinicius, who is at least fit every week, is going to turn around and say, I want more money. And when you give someone like Bellingham, for example, who was, 20 years old when he signed a huge contract, when he's 26, of course he's going to ask for more money, right? So Madrid put themselves in this situation. So I think they need a bit of a restructuring of their wages, because, there are a lot of players who are on very high wages and some players who relatively will be on lower wages and probably will deserve more. If anyone deserves a pay rise in this team, it's not Vinicius, it's Fede Valverde, for example. But because he's a nice guy and he seems to be very honourable, I don't think he's the type of guy that's going to kick up a problem, Fede. Yeah, this is a problem that Real Madrid are creating by giving these ridiculous wages out. So, but anyway, I'm going to end it there. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll try and get back to some more videos soon. I'm traveling a lot at the moment. I'm off to Santiago soon to continue my crazy bus journey. And yeah, I will see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Ciao.